So good morning all. Uh, I'm glad to welcome you all for the sixth episode of Sunday Samvad, the Alumni Connect vertical of MITIS. In this sixth episode, we will be talking about career in CSR, that is career in corporate social responsibility, and we are glad and honored to have our own TISS Mumbai alumni, Mr. Sudarshan Saura, from the batch of 2015-17. Mr. Sudarshan graduated from the School of Social Work in Dalit and Tribal Studies and Action in the year 2017. Mr. Sudarshan is born and brought up in Jharkhand. He did his schooling from his native place Burmo and then moved to Jamshedpur for graduation. He has done his undergraduation from Karim City College, Jamshedpur in BCom honors. Then he has also a master's PGDM, postgraduate diploma degree in from the Master's School of Management, Meerut, where he specialized in finance and marketing. After that, Mr. Sudarshan joined Genpact India as an account payable team, and after 2 years, he joined TISS Mumbai in the School of Social Work. We are also happy to say that, that Mr. Sudarshan got his placement from TISS itself in Tata Steel CSR. It's been more than 3 years that he has been associated with Tata Steel and also into various projects from education, health, livelihood with tribal communities in Jamshedpur and in and around the various districts of Jamshedpur and even also in Odisha. At the same time, his interest areas lies in reading books and watching movies. We welcome you, Mr. Sudarshan sir, and I again am glad to connect you with current TISS students. This session has received great response from all the 4 campuses. We have almost received 102 entries for this session. I think because of Sunday morning and kind of monsoons, people will join soon. We already have 50 participants, almost 50. So thank you, sir, for joining with us, and we'll begin in I'll give you the start in 2 minutes, sir. Before that, I'll introduce to you the content of what we are going to discuss today. So first of all, our focus in the first section, Mr. Sudarshan will focus on how or what were the roles or what are the roles Mr. Sudarshan is playing in Tata Steel CSR, what functions does he have, and accordingly what are general roles and functions in a CSR. Secondly, Mr. Sudarshan will tell about what are the remunerations and incentives that are provided by CSRs and how the placement process of CSR goes on in brief. Third area which Mr. Sudarshan will talk upon would be about the skills that we are all here for, to know about the skills that are required by or that are expected by CSRs from, let us say, TISS students or students in general. Also at that time, Mr. Sudarshan would discuss about the challenges that students are expected to face in whenever they sit for placements or whenever they, even after going into a CSR, working into a CSR, what are the challenges that are expected. Lastly, a very important area that during our discussion Mr. Sudarshan also mentioned would be how we as TISS students can channelize or can connect with the value system of the organization and our own value system. How we can connect our theoretical knowledge to the practical field, and also how our values, personal values, can be connected to the organizational values. So their first phase of the whole discussion would be, like as I pointed out, this contest would be 35 to 40 minutes. After that, we have received various questions in the Google Forms. So that would also be facilitated to Mr. Sudarshan, and then after we are done with the Google Forms questions, we would be taking up the questions that are posted on the chat box. So participants are requested to post whatever questions they have on the chat box, and after that, if we have time, we would be students can ask questions directly. So yes, so that is it, and sir, you can start with your sessions.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Daddy, for a lovely words for me. Uh, Good morning to all. So my introduction part has been explained, or you can say like shared by Dadi, and it's really honor or pleasure. Dadi, can you please on your video? Otherwise, it would be very difficult. Like, if possible. Okay, thanks. You just bear with me. Okay. Otherwise, it would be like a monotonous speaking. So it's good. Uh, Look, when I was a student of TICS, at that point of time, we were just, what I can say, reading the books, articles. We are very engaged, or we are very busy with our own courses and research papers. Okay, to be honest. And suddenly, the placement started. Okay, so we never did some kind of research or background work, like what kind of jobs we will get in a outer world, okay, after completing what I can say degree from our college. And being a teacher, we had a notion, okay, to be honest, I'm saying that we had a notion that we will get the job in some places, and somehow it's true, like uh, being a student from a reputed college, it's very easy, okay, sometimes. But sometimes it also creates a lot of burdens, because you have a legacy, okay, you are coming from such a institution where they have already set a bar. And so when you come to the any, what I can say, corporate or civil society sector, people will expect a lot from you. So it's very important to at least get to know something, what are the expectation, basically the people expect from you, okay. So I will talk about that one. But before that, I will give you a brief introduction about the CSR, so that you will get the idea. Okay, because CSR has its own, what I can say, journey. It is started from 2007. Okay, it was like the government and the expertise, you can say, from the corporate world and government. They started talking. Even the civil society. Okay. Uh, uh, to just raise the question, like if corporates are there, so it is their also responsibility to do something for the society. So it is started from 2007, okay, and it means year by year it took a different step. It came from the voluntary perspective. But before 2007, uh, you know that in Indian society we used to do the philanthropy or charity work, basically, okay. So all the corporates were doing the same thing. But after 2013, okay, so this is the milestone, which is a, what I can say, a turning point for the corporate world, because in 2013, the government made a act, okay, which is called the CSR Act, basically, of 2013. When you will do some Google, you will get the information, okay. And 2013, which when it became act, so it's a mandatory for the government, okay, to follow the rules and regulations of the, what I can say, act. And they cannot abide, okay, they cannot escape from these things. So that's a very interesting point. And after, and basically CSR Act has been implemented on 2014, okay, basically the financial year from 2014 to 15. So it's been almost 6 years, and what I can say, CSR sector is evolving. Okay, uh, when you will come to this area, you will get to know, like there are some challenges, there are some good things. Okay, and once the year will pass, we can expect a lot from CSR. Okay, so this is the background. But I guess in theoretical part, it's very interesting. When you will do the Google, you will get to know about the CSR and the policy. It looks very, what I can say, nice in paper. But I really want to talk on a ground basis. Okay, on ground reality, like first you have to do some kind of research or some background check of a industry. I'm telling you. Why I'm telling, because in industries as well, you have to see the operational model of company. Okay, if it is manufacturing company, it means like they need minerals. Okay, so definitely they will acquire the land. Okay, and everybody knows that all the minerals are located to the tribal belt, most of the areas. Okay, and when you will choose this kind of companies or corporate house to being a part of CSR team, then it's a very, what I can say, sometimes it would be very challenging task, because the community, okay, you have to understand the community as well, because you are directly working with them. Okay, so community, you will get the community a different kind of thought, like maybe because our company has been associated with the community in a charity mode. Okay, but now that charity mode become a demand oriented as well. It means that I'm not generalizing the thing, but there are some local leaders, or you can say the community representative, they always approach to the CSR team or the management of company. Okay, they will asking, basically they will demand. Okay, and you have to negotiate with them. So one part is that one. You have to also understand the function of, basically the operation of other organizations like IT sector, banking. Okay, they are not acquiring the a particular land from any place, so they have their own challenges. Look, they don't know with whom they have to work. Okay, because uh, when you see the banking sector, okay, they have a branches on all the locations. Okay, and the head office is some what I can say, it would be in metropolitan places basically. Okay, whether it is Mumbai, Delhi, or Kolkata, or any place. And in a metro cities, they have their own challenges, or maybe they can think because it's a act now, and they have to spend 2% of their money. Okay, basically of profit. So the philosophy of 2%, it is mentioned in a act, like you have to see the 3 years of profit, okay, of any company, and it would be the average one. Okay, 2% of 3 years. Uh, that is the amount which a company has to spend. The second point which I have mentioned, one more point I want to add. Okay, like sometime because spending 2% money is a challenging task for all the CSR team member. Okay, basically the board members, because when you will see the CSR policy, you will get to know that there are two main components. Okay, one is the board member, and second one is the CSR committee member. Okay, once the board members take the decisions, basically they are the one who has to respond to the government, whether they have uh, what I can say, whether they have followed the rule and regulation of CSR Act or not. Okay, so it's a very tricky one for them also, because on ground, people like us, okay, we are working with the community, and our job is to just execute all the projects. And when you will see, or when you will read the CSR policies act, it's already made by the government. Okay, so like for company, they cannot escape, as well as they cannot, what I can say, they cannot initiate a new kind of concept basically. Okay, so it has been already mentioned all over there. So in a simple word, okay, CSR also do the same work which the civil society do, basically the NGO sector. Okay, so NGO sector always prefer to do basically the issues which they face, or basically they try to address, like in terms of education, health, civil, water, sports, ethnicity, basically culture, heritage. So these are the things which has been already mentioned in CSR Act. Okay, so company is liable to do. So the interesting part is that even for me also, like I have not got any, what I can say, any particular piece. Okay, which I was expecting. Like so. it's very interesting that you have to understand, like, when suppose when you are coming to the Tata Steel, okay, so earlier I had a notion that I will join to the Tata Steel. It means then the plant, okay, plant of CSR. But when I came to Tata Steel, then I got to know that no, Tata Steel also owns the minerals, okay, basically the mineral site where we supposed to be located, okay. It depends on the organization also. So being executive, like you have to be very adaptive. Okay, the first skill I'm telling you, because you cannot just came through your notion that so it's better to do some kind of background check so that it would be very easy. Second thing, I talked about the community, okay, which I want to reflect here, which I missed one point. Like when you are working in such corporate house where they are not acquiring any land, or basically they are not extracting the mineral oil, so you are supposed to work with those community which has been not, what I can say, affected from your activities, okay, like in terms of minerals. Uh, Corporate house acquire the land, and there are so many tribal belt where the people has to be shipped to another place, so basically they are giving their land, okay. Sometimes it's become voluntary, and sometimes it's a very tricky one, like people don't want to uh, give the land. So that's the reason there is one another policy which government, basically the all the people are asking, like for robust RNR, basically resettlement rehabilitation policy, okay. I guess so I will not talk about that part because uh, it's not very clear, okay. Second thing I really want to tell you that uh, the basic criteria of CSR, okay, where we are involved, okay, we are in an executive position, okay. Basically, we are not the top of the management, okay, and we are not the lower one, okay. We are like a manager kind of thing, okay. So our role and responsibility is basically to analyze the ground to community, basically, and you have to frame the what I can say activities. Uh, okay, so before that, okay, I'm before 2013, I'm giving you a little bit background, like, okay, so CSR, there was no any department, okay, in before 2013, okay, but except Tata, okay, basically the Tata has a philosophy to give to the society, okay. That was the what I can say the philosophy of Tata, and which was very good, and still it's a very nice initiative which they have done, okay. So CSR had their own separate department, okay, but it was not what I can say according to the act, okay. They were doing some random activities, you can say like that, okay. It was a charity base, okay. So whenever the situation came, they just go and do the work simply. But now after 2013, okay, the ground has already changed, okay. The people are talking about the long term plan, okay. People are talking about how we can impact the community, okay. So now we are talking about the impact. Earlier it was not like that, okay. So that's the reason company are looking for the development professional, okay, who can come, who can interact with the community, okay, who can understand the situation, and they can give the proper what I can say, not solution, but some kind of ideas, like how they can approach, or they can approach to the method, okay. So uh, the point which I want to highlight here is that whatever you are reading or whatever you are understanding in this right now, okay, your implication can come, okay. But to be honest, I'm saying uh, whatever the theories or understanding or research you are doing, maybe you have to work, okay, you have to work totally on a totally a different domain, okay. So so that's the reason I told you that you have to be very adaptive, okay. So that is the first skill. The second skill which I'm talking, because most of the question which you guys have asked is like that the skills, okay. So I will focusing more on the skill part, and I'm not talking about the philosophical or fundamental thing of CSR, okay. The second thing is that at least you should be very good, okay, in MS Office, okay. MS Office, why I'm saying that, because you have to work a lot on Excel sheet. Okay, and second one is presentation part. Okay, so even you have to work report writing as well. Okay, it depends on organizational structure. So MS Office is very important. Okay, if he, as we know that we will get to know about the SPSS. Okay, which is what I can say, the application or software of research. Okay, but maybe there are so many CSR. What I can say, organization currently they are not focusing too much on research part. Okay, they do the analysis, but they will not do some kind of research work. Okay, so but still, I say that in coming time, the research part will also get a chance, or what I can say, get a space in CSR activities, and it will definitely help. So, learn a research tool as well. Okay, it will help you. Uh, I'm telling you, you should also focus on research part only because when you will go to community, so whatever the tools which you have read, okay, or whatever the tools which you are using for your research paper, it will help you to understand the community. Okay, and being a what I can say, mining industries corporate house, we know that it's a very complicated to understand the community because so that's the reason there is two things which you have to understand. Like for company, uh, after 2013, before 2013, there is one term which was very what I can say, uh, uh, famous or preferable. I can say like so it was the basically shareholder. Okay, so company was very responsible to provide what I can say, dividends or profit to the shareholders. Okay, because if shareholders are happy, so their company can run smoothly because they will get the fund from them. Okay, so that's the notion. Now after 2013, what happened? Like the government has made the policy. Now they have to also think what I can say about the stakeholder. So what is the stakeholder? Stakeholder is basically the local communities. Okay, it's not about the only local communities. You have to also think about the local politician, uh, leaders of that community. Okay, you have to also work with the government. You have to also what I can say, you have to also consider your management, okay, where you are working. So these are the what I can say, the basic stakeholders which you have to work with them. So like you have to be multitasking. So the second point, basically the third point, which I really want to emphasize in terms of skill, you should be very good in negotiation and listening. Okay, so when you are talking about the negotiation, because you know that I have already explained that when you will go to the community, so you will get certain number of people. Okay, they will demand. They are used to. Okay, because they used to know that before 2013. Okay, they used to get the charity based thing, and in charity, basically the companies used to give a material, what I can say, material things. Okay, which was visible. Now, okay, so now after 2013, we are now more talking about the intangible things. Basically, how we can create the ecosystem. Okay, and people cannot understand these things very easily. Okay, so you have to be very balanced. Okay, so like you have to also think about, okay, I can also satisfy this person and how I can reach, okay, to the those people of community where they are not getting the benefits. Okay, so that's the thing which you have to understand. Okay, and I'm telling you a practical sense. Okay, and the licensing and negotiation, why I told that licensing part is that sometimes you have to discuss, or you have to talk with multiple people. Okay, so you should be very good in negotiation and licensing. Okay, and to be honest, I'm saying, you being associated with corporate house, okay, you are not supposed to, what I can say any negative things about the company, as well as uh, uh, you are not supposed to say any negative things about the community to the what I can say, to the management. Okay, so hello, yeah, sorry, somebody just called me that again. So, so that's the thing. Okay. Uh, just give me a minute. Okay. So that's the thing. You have to be very balanced. Okay. So, we are coming from a institution, okay, where we have been taught about the social science, okay, and somehow when we see about the society, okay, in a different lens, because I also got to know about the all the society's perspective or the function of society when I came to teach, okay. So when you what I can say, when you just come outside from the campus, uh, it is very difficult, okay, to just remove those lens. And I'm not requesting or I'm not suggesting that you should, okay, but at least you should be very open to see the things, because whatever you have read or whatever you have understand, okay, it's somehow it's very true, but in practical world all the theoretical part will not what I can say came in a execution part, okay. So you have to come, you have to understand the society, you have to understand the community, you have to understand the function of organization, you have to also understand the rule and regulation, because beyond that you cannot go, okay. So observing all the things, then you try, okay, you try to at least work on existing activities, so that you can create your own credit, what I can say, credibility basically, okay. Once you are very good, okay, on understanding the thing, then the people will start listening you, okay. And once you have created your what I can say goodwill with the community as well as with the management as well as the organizational structure, you can also give your new innovation and ideas, okay. Because what I'm saying that you have to understand, okay, we are in such a position where we can negotiate, okay, but we cannot give the order, that's the thing, okay. We cannot take the decision, okay. And for that there are some separate teams, so you have to understand the organizational structure, like the board members are there, the heads are there, okay. then then your reporting management manager basically would be there, then you will come, and under you there are some staffs, okay. So you have to also think about the management, you will also think about your staff and as well as the community, so that's the role you have to do, okay. And I'm telling you that being a executive of CSR, okay, I have learned a lot, okay. But I will not endorse that you should also come, okay, to CSR. It's up to you, okay, whether you should come or not, okay. So that's up to you. But I'm telling you why I joined the CSR only because my research paper was that, okay. I did my research paper basically on industries. The mining sector, okay. So I thought that now I have to get more practical knowledge, okay, how it functions, because whatever I have written in theoretical part, I really wanted to get exposure in a practical sense. So I thought that it is better to just go and see the conflict part, okay, the industries versus the community. So that was my notion, okay, and how I can at least bridge that gap. So that was the notion, and I came here. uh, One thing I really want to highlight that I'm just talking about the good thing, okay, about the CSR thing, but there are some what I can say challenges also, which I guess uh, Dadis has highlighted that because when I joined CSR, I had a notion that I will go to basically I have to work on basically in Jamshedpur, but I have been what I can say placed in some another location which is called Nuamuli. Okay, uh, so it's a very what I can say it's a totally rural setup, and sometimes you are coming from a metro city, so it can be okay. I'm not saying it would be, but it can be a challenging task. Uh, what I can say to adjust yourself. Okay, it's a tough task because to be honest, I am saying that being a rural practicum or field visit or field work during the schools, you are not very liable, okay, because you are getting the company with your friends, your colleagues. So you even you know that at some after some point of time you have to what I can say, you have to return back to your campus, okay, and you can chill out with your friends. But it's staying in rural setup, and if you are not getting some sort of what I can say, people or colleague, it is very difficult. Okay, so my one advice would be very simple, that you should not, okay, you can do the what I can say healthy argument, but you never try to impose your idea on others, because even people can what I can say definitely tag you, and it's a general thing that being a teacher, people always know that they are very prone to the what I can say ideological perspective kind of thing. Okay, they always talk about the radical thing. So that's the notion people has already created. But I am saying that you should also give your idea in a healthy manner. Okay, uh, you should be not very aggressive. You can say in a polite manner. Okay, which we have learned. Okay, through the years, because when we were new, we never thought about the like who are the people. Okay, with whom we are discussing. We always used to discuss a lot. Okay, and people started what I can say tagging us like they are the very radical kind of person. But yeah, after some point of time, it's true that Thyssen always uh, try to give their best. Okay, and we always think towards the community side, to be specific. But you have to be very balanced, I'm saying. Okay, because you have to understand one philosophy which we missed in for basically in during my master, like okay, we have done, or we have studied, like especially me. Okay, I have uh, done my research from one point of sight, okay, from the community perspective, but I have never seen the other part of the corporate. Okay, like basically who are asking for such kind of raw materials. Okay, okay, company are producing. So basically we can talk on capitalism in some other time. It's a very long process, but in simple I'm saying that when you will see the structure of civil society, when I talk about the civil society, basically the NGO, or there are so many organization. Okay, they also approach to the corporate house to get the fund. Okay, so here the simplest way for you that is that you are not basically being a CSR exec, you are not very worried. Okay, and you don't have to think about the fund part. Okay, how we will get the fund, then we will what I can say do the work. If we will not get the fund, how we will sustain our projects or activities. Okay, so that part is sorted in CSR part. Look, you will get the fund. Okay, so once you will get the fund, you have a pressure, okay, because it's a mandatory act, okay. Whatever the plan and whatever the activities you have been planned, you have to execute. Okay, so that is the role. Okay, you have to make a plan, you have to execute the idea. Okay, if you fail, because sometimes it happens, because there are so many things. Okay, so uncertainties we can say, like the COVID right now. But still in community, okay, you have to also consider about the local festival of the community. Okay, you have to also see like why the community is not participating. So there are so many variants uncertainty things. Okay, which you have to, what I can say, you have to understand. Even sometimes if your relationship is not good with the local leaders of that particular community, it would be very challenging task to just, what I can say, execute or implement any kind of activities. Okay, so you have to understand. So in terms of what I can say CSR part. Okay, so I'm telling you one practical example. When one civil society or NGO approach to the community, okay, basically they have never taken anything from the community. Okay, but what happened here? They are doing something. Okay, they are doing some welfare work to for them. Okay, so that's the reason they got, okay, so much respect and love or affection from the community. But when you come from basically specific to the manufacturing industries or minerals mining industries CSR department, there are some people, they will always oppose you most of the time. Okay, they will always demand, basically they will not oppose, but they will demand. And and one section of the community, they will love you. Okay, because they know very well that you are the only one department. Okay, basically the CSR is the one department from where they are getting so many things for the welfare work, basically. because we are doing even apart from Tata, all the CSR department will focus on education, okay, on health, on livelihood, on civil and infrastructure, water, ethnicity, okay. So that are the thing which all the CSR department do. Okay, so people will also give you respect. Okay, one thing is very true that the people will, okay, can do what I can say argument with you, but they will not, what I can say, they will not do any harm to you. Okay, it's true, but they will do the healthy argument. That's the reason I'm saying you should be very good in negotiation part, and you will get to know all this when you will come to the field. But you should be prepared mentally when you are joining to the which kind of CSR sector, okay, which you guys want to join. That's the fair point. Okay, you should be very good in managerial skill. Okay, so guys, maybe I'm not talking on chronological order, but I'm talking so that it can make a sense to you guys. Okay, and you should be very good in managerial skill. So our task is not only to just execute. Okay, we have to also report to the team. Okay, we are the one who can coordinate with all the people. Okay, so like if so you have to understand basically like how the organization functions. So there are some team, okay, which you have to work with them. Like at least you should work with the procurement team. Okay, basically it's a purchasing team, and the one team is which is what I can say the accounts team. Okay, so whatever the what I can say thought or activities you have planned. Let's suppose you want to provide the scholarship. Okay, basically education is scholarship to 100 students. Suppose I'm just giving you the example, and for providing that 100 scholarship to those 100 students, you have to plan the activities. How you will plan? You have to distribute the form. Basically you have to what I can say release the circular first. What are the criteria? Okay, second thing, you have to what I can say distribute to forms. Okay, and then collect, and then you will conduct some kind of written examination and interview if necessary. It's up to you. So why I'm saying that for conducting written examination and distributing form, you need some resources. Okay, and those resources will come from the purchasing team. Okay, so it's very important that you have to also understand the purchasing part as well as the financial accounts part, because you have to also do the payment. Okay, and there is one other stakeholder, I can say like that. It's a vendor, which is very important. Okay, vendor basically what I can say the local shopkeeper or contractor, you can say like that. Okay, so we have to basically the purchase team tie up with them, but sometimes we have to also learn those things, because one funny thing I am saying that being a very premium what I can say college, people are expecting that we know all the things, but on ground, to be honest, I am saying I didn't understand the first sentence when one vendor came to me and asked me like what is the size of that pandal which you are asking. Like he told that 60 by 40 would be the appropriate. So I was clueless, like what is 60 by 40, like whether it is height, weight. I was very confused. So I just asked him because uh, I was not able to visualize like how big the size would be. And it was my first, what I can say, activities, a big program which I was organizing. Okay, so I have to learn those things also. So that's the reason I am saying you have to be very what I can say quick learner. Okay, you cannot just learn the things. You should learn the things fast. Okay, so once you will learn the things fast, you can execute the things in proper manner. Okay, because when you will what I can say sorry, I just got distracted. Somebody just posted the question. That's the reason. No issue. So you have to understand the things very fast, because how the organization function, and there are some rule regulation of the accounts team, and there would be some rule and regulation of the purchase team, which you have to understand. If you are not fulfilling their requirement, you will get what I can say. You will get the material, or maybe very quickly, or it would be they will take the time. Basically, okay, it can delay. Okay, so you have to understand those part also. So you have to be very quick learner. And I'm telling you guys, when you go to any organization, first understand the understanding of people. Okay, understand the organizational structure first. Okay, don't just go and do the bombard. Okay, you are coming from a premium institute, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to give all the ideas or all the things. First, be patient. Okay, and learn the thing first. Once you will get to know, then you just, what I can say, modify your ideas, your thought, and execute or share your idea with the management. Okay, if it is okay for them, it's good. Okay, because I have learned one thing, that in our organization, we cannot do the transaction in cash, or sometimes it's very problematic thing. So you have to also ask, you should also take the consideration. Okay, basically the prior approval from the, what I can say, purchase team and the accounts team. If purchase team will ask that, okay, I need such kind of time, okay, this days or maybe n number of days. So you have to think like that also. And accounts team will say that whatever you are doing, it should be done through the vendor so that the payment would be easy. Why they are saying? Because it's now act. Okay, whatever you are doing, the auditor will come and they will do the audit work. Okay, and your paper is not good, then they can, what I can say, they can give you the, basically the management has to give the, what I can say, clarification to the government. Okay, so that's the thing. So you have to be very clear. Yes. So one thing is very important, being a CSR executive, I'm telling, where we are working, you have a power, you have a liberty. Okay. After 1 year, when you understood the organizational structure, the management, how the budget started or happening, how the budget allocation happened, you can create some activities, or you can at least alter some activities as per not for your convenience, but as per the community development. Okay, you can alter. So like, you can directly say that we, this year we will try to avoid the local people, basically local leader, and we will approach to the, what I can say, to the organization. Okay, so that's the thing which you have to. And one point, being a student of, what I can say, from Tishan, and you guys are like, you are currently studying. So monetary initiative, okay, monetary initiative is very important. So before that, I really want to say two, three more lines so that you will understand how you will get the monetary. Okay, how much basically you will get the monetary. So first thing, when you will see the CSR policy, they have clearly mentioned that either the company can create, okay, the one separate department, which can be registered under, what I can say, Societies Act, or it can be a own company, basically the private company. Okay, so when you are coming, you are working, so you are not, what I can say, you will not get the pay scale. Okay, the basically I'm talking about the pay structure, like of that particular company. Okay, because they have created one separate department, and they have their own rules and regulations. So according to that, you will get the your salary part. Okay, so it depends on organization to organization, but you should be very specific. Okay, you should do the background check before joining to any organization, whether it is a society, say, okay, the organization has been registered, or it is a private company. Okay, simply, basically the foundation. If it is a foundation, like, they will pay you the more. Okay, and if it is what I can say, society act, so maybe they can pay you little less compared to the foundation. Okay, why I'm saying you, because when you will see the structure of society there, it's basically the NGO. Okay, it maybe it is associated with the corporate house, but their function, their role and regulations, their rule regulation are totally related to that society set. Okay, so they will pay you according to that only. But it's still, I am saying that you will get little higher. Okay, compared to the civil society, basically NGO sector. Okay, so that's the part. I cannot quote the exact amount. Okay, but I I mean, I'm just giving you some ideas. Okay, so because it's a company policy, like if I will disclose the amount, maybe the HR can take any kind of action against me. Okay, so I will not disclose that one. But to be honest, I'm saying there are good private companies. Okay, and one point which I missed. Okay, sorry. If you are coming through if the government organizations are coming, okay, right now they don't have a created a separate body as far as I concern. Okay, I did some research, and they have not like the private companies have started creating their own foundation or organization after 2013. Okay, so they have their own policy, so they are paying as per their requirements. Okay, but in our base there are some people, okay, they got a very good placement. It depends on organization to organization. Okay, second thing, if you're going to the government organization, they, I guess, if it is not a third party payroll, okay, I'm not sure, because there are some now government also started doing this thing, that what they are doing, they are hiring the student in a contractual basis. Okay, so I don't know how they have created those things on their policy. I'm not very clear. Okay, so I will not comment on that. So they will pay you even higher amount compared to other organization. Okay, so if I will say, okay, okay, maybe I'm wrong. At least you will get 5.5, or at least when we were there. Okay, but I will request the CGPC or CPC team that they should also negotiate. Okay, they should also do some kind of background check. If the company is coming and they have already given such kind of like certain amount of what I can say placement to the previous student, they should at least increase some amount. Okay, they should. So that's the thing which I really want to highlight here. Okay. One thing which I missed, you should be very good on reporting part. Okay, because I don't know, like we are very good on writing part. To be honest, I'm saying, but we are not very familiar with the a structure of that reporting part. Okay, and it depends on organization how they want to report. But I'm telling you, as per my experience, I'm telling you two things which will require a lot, which you will, when you will come to the organization, which is your Excel sheet and your PPT, okay, power presentation, which you have to continuously interact with them, because whenever the government organization will come for audit purpose, okay, so you are the one, okay, who knows all the things in better way. So you have to explain the thing in detailed way. Okay, and I'm telling you why I'm reporting part, because sometimes the government have their own what I can say formats, okay, which you have to fill, but it depends on the organization, like how you have been what I can say assigned. So apart from the overall what I can say the structure of CSR part I have given, one point I really want to say, that when you will join to the any CSR team, maybe I'm saying some in some organization, maybe you will get a chance in such position where you have to work with so many vertical, like vertical in the sense the projects, either health, education, everything. Okay, but most of the organization you have been assigned to some thematic area like education, or okay, education or ethnicity, maybe one thematic area, or more than two or three. It's up to the organization. I'm not sure. Okay, but you should be very good on those things. Okay, and being a teacher, we know that we read so many things. Okay, so we can at least adjust ourselves in any domain. Okay, like for me, when I came to what I can say this organization, I was expecting to work with the basically there is one department called Tribal Culture Society. So I really wanted to join that part, but I didn't get to work with them. Okay, directly, but indirectly I worked with them. Okay, and I have been assigned to one particular area. Okay, basically where I have been like I was working like a process leader. So my task was simply to just basically to facilitate all the thematic people, okay, thematic areas people, to do some kind of activities on those particular area. Okay, so that was the requirement. But later point of time, I requested specifically that I really want to work on thematic areas. So right now I'm working in education and ethnicity. There in education, there are so many activities which we are doing, and there are ethnicity basically, where I'm working to revive the tribal language. Okay, basically, uh, is specific in terms of Ho community, because we are working with Ho community. Even we are what I can say, creating one ecosystem where at least they can get to know about their heroes. Okay, in terms of some activities. So those are the things which I want to highlight it. Uh, yes. Uh, Anything else you want to know? I guess I have already crossed the
Yes,
line.
yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Thank you so much, sir. And overall, it was a very what you can say, the first purpose of our Sunday Samvad is a visualization of a workspace. And when we try to visualize CSR, now I guess when these 60 participants would try to visualize CSR, they would be definitely visualize Mr. Sudarshan telling, describing the whole aspect of CSR. And so I think it was a very insightful and a very what you can say, interesting session, where we got to know various aspects of the skills required from what are the stakeholders, not only in the company but with the community, as well as in the community leaders and all the community members. Even what are the activities, how the activities can be done, what is your role with, when you are connecting with your managers, with your low level managers or upper level managers, when you're connecting with community, when you're connecting with government, you're a liaison officer. So how the roles differ. Also, you pointed out the skills of MS Excel, PP, PowerPoint presentation, about the adaptive, how to be adaptive and flexible, to be managerial, also to be a good negotiator, and also to be a rather than a teacher. That kind of rules that are required, you highlighted how can we negotiate with the company, and also about the remuneration part you highlighted. So overall, I think it you have covered also. So like we had around 4 questions, and I think you have covered all of. There are questions that are left that I would like to ask, if with your permission, sir.
Yes, yes. One point I really want to highlight, which I missed, I guess,
Yeah.
being a fresher
No, no
candidate.
problem. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. You should be very clear about two, 3 points. Okay, which we miss in our time. Okay, first you should do some kind of background check of the company, which I highlighted. But second thing, you should also ask directly. Okay, when they will come for orientation, that how much they are paying. Okay, it should be like. Uh, they are talking about in terms of CTC. When they talk about the CTC, they will include all the things, okay, which is very dangerous, okay, sometimes, because when you will see the CTC, it's a cost to company basically, okay. So cost to company, it means if company is giving you some kind of allowance, okay, apart from your net salary, okay, they will add some kind of performance bonus, okay. They will add some kind of LTC, basically the tour part, when you will do some kind. So everything they will add on your CTC, okay. So I am telling you, when you will get the bonus, it's not a fixed amount, okay. There are some criteria which basically the company do, okay. They do some kind of ratings, okay. If you are able to perform according to that, so you will get that much of bonus. But in CTC, they will include all the amount, the maximum amount they will include. But maybe you are not up to that mark on your first or second year, so you will get the less amount, okay. So that's the thing which you should be very clear. Am I audible? Okay. And one more,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir. You're
and
audible.
one more point that you should directly ask, okay, for your understanding, that you, in which role you are going to, what again, in which role your pay amount would be, like whether it is a society's payroll, whether it is a company payroll, or whether it is a foundation payroll. So if they will tell you the, what I can say, the clear picture, at least when you will join the organization, you don't have any kind of, what I can say, regretness, or any kind of what you can say, it would be very easy for you, like
Yes,
if you
true,
will get the things clear in advance. Okay. So that's the thing.
true. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, absolutely, sir. Yeah, the payroll, the remuneration, the difference between C2C and what you get in hand,
Yes.
that also, and corporates
Mm,
know how to deal with these aspects of payroll and, yeah,
yes.
yes, absolutely. Thank you, sir. So, yes, I again, like, you would like to repeat that, yeah, there is a whole kind of holistic or umbrella perspective we have got from this talk. So
Okay. But
yeah, I'm sorry.
I still miss one point, which is a very interesting for you guys. Like, uh, in my talk, maybe you guys got to know. Maybe the notion was like that we are talking about the big short corporate house. Okay, but when you will read the report of Price Water Cooper, okay, they have written one document which is very important. At least you should. It's around 32 pages of report. Okay, you should read that one. Okay, and it has clearly mentioned that around 6,000 okay corporate house, okay, and out of which we should also think about the SMEs part, okay, small medium enterprise, okay, which we basically they are missing only because they don't want to bear the cost of operational, okay. So what they do basically, they always approach to the government, or they basically approach to the civil society to just give the fund, and they ask for the reporting part and they submit to the government. That's the simple thing, okay. But I am telling you, it would be a big opportunity for people, okay, when you see CSR as a career option, because right now it's almost 20,000 crore, okay, which every year government is spending, or it will increase, okay, because the market is basically, it's totally dependent with the market. If market is booming, your CSR expenditure will increase, okay. If market is going down, your CSR budget will come down. That's the reality, which I guess one person had asked the question, okay, which I
Yes,
will get,
yes, yes.
I
In the
will
chat,
answer.
yeah, yeah. So, so you are saying that these 6,000 companies are there, but SMEs are not included in the CSR, and the CSR market is projected to boom or to increase, or the
Yes.
spending is projected to be increased.
Yes. So basically,
Yeah.
the corporate affairs, okay, there is one
Yes.
company's department. They have estimated, like they have published the report around 6,000 corporate house, basically even including SMEs as well as the big corporate house. But
Okay.
what big corporate house started their own foundation, or basically they started making. But SMEs, okay, basically they are not creating a separate department for CSR, okay.
Department.
So what they are doing, they are just giving some amount, okay, of their profit to the some civil society or other organization, okay, and they are getting the reports from them simply, and they are not, why they are doing, because it has been mentioned in your CSR what, okay, in CSR Act. So they are not what I can say, violating any kind of rule and regulation, but it is a potential one. Maybe they are not very clear about the things, okay. And I'm telling you one incident that when this policy came to existence, okay, the people were not sure like how they will function, and that's the reason it took the time. And at least now the people started talking about the CSR, okay, and gradually the time will pass. This sector will boom. Definitely, this sector will boom. Okay.
True, 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 true. Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. I understand. Moving on forward, sir. There are a couple of questions we'll take. One is from the Google Forms, and one I guess is around the chat box, and even I personally have. So
Okay.
one is, sir, that even you pointed out in the between, and when the other day we were having discussion, even we were discussing in length about how we can bridge the gap between academicians and development practitioners, or if you interpret it in another way, how we can bridge the gap between TISS, the knowledge or skills in TISS or in social sciences, with the practical demands of the community as well as of the organization as well as of the government, let us say of the state. So that gap between theory and practical, how can we do it? You said we need to bridge that gap. Can you give us some, uh, in a minute or two, some brief idea of how students can develop that ability to bridge the gap?
Okay, a simple thing is that you should approach to the organization, basically the corporate house. Okay, you should ask their top management to come to your college. Okay, they will give some kind of talk. Okay, that is the one thing, so that at least they can also get to know about you, like what kind of students you guys are. Because there is one hard reality. Okay, whenever the teacher go to some organization, maybe due to n number of things. Most of the time students leave the organization too early, and it's true when we will do comparison with other organization. Okay, so when at least there is two things, that one part is not under any control. Okay, anybody's control, like it's individual decision. Okay, like whether you want to work for a very, what I can say, very short period of time in any organization, or you want to move, so you can't do that part. Okay, but you can do one thing, at least you should approach to the, what I can, top management, at least to ask them to share their experience or knowledge. Okay, so it can create a healthy relationship with you guys. Okay, uh, second thing is that you should also approach to the HR. Okay, in terms of internship. Okay, because all the organization, it's like a two-way approach. Okay, when the interns come, being a executive, we also expect something like whatever the task we will give, they will do, and it will give you the exposure. Okay, so it is creating the healthy relationship with that one. Okay, and you will get the ideas. So that's the simple, because working in a NGO or civil society is totally different. Not totally different, but at least in managerial part, it's totally different. Okay, because there are more compliances. Okay, in NGOs or civil society, you have to just give the report to the, what I can say, the funder, or who is basically funding you. Okay, but here the governments, okay, the local politicians, there are n number of stakeholders which are coming, and you cannot say directly, and you cannot deny anyone. Okay, and you cannot avoid anyone, you have to work with them. So that's the thing. So you can just try to at least host some nice talk or interactive session with top management, or at least the particular organization which you are targeting. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes.
From Dalit and
Yes.
Tribal Studies. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. You can ask. You can ask. Yes.
Sir, we are taught several skills in class, and on the what is the scope of getting placement on the basis of those uh, skills? I particularly am talking about project management in
Okay.
Dalit and Tribal Studies.
Okay. Afrin.
You get the question, right, sir?
Yes.
Arfin.
Arfin. Okay, sorry. Arfin, to be honest, I am saying that it will help. I'm not saying that whatever the tools which our schools are teaching, okay, it will help. So project management, okay, it will definitely help. It will give you the ideas, okay, how in a broader picture. But you have to also understand the organizational structure. Like there are a team, okay, there are some structure of the organization, okay. So like where you are fitting to yourself, okay. When the company will come to you, I'm directly saying that if some corporate house will maybe hire you as a what I can say, as a monitoring part, maybe, okay. Is specific to monitoring, so you have to be very good on monitoring part. Okay, so in terms of monitoring, okay, then how you will do the monitoring part? Okay, uh, it would be in a what I can say, in a Excel sheet, or maybe some other tools or some other application which organization is at least following. Second thing, you should also monitor the ground part. Okay, so that is the thing which you have to understand. Your question is like being a student of Dalit and tribal studies. Okay, when it's a very interesting one. Even when I was a student of that one, we were very hesitate, and especially this course has been, what I can say, people had a notion like okay, they are very radical kind of thing, but it's not true. Like we study, okay, we learn the thing in very different, and we learn the thing a little bit emotionally as well, okay, in DTA. But the thing is that in DTA that you are very, it's categorically I'm saying that you have been very exposed to the marginalized community of those sections, which I guess other communities, basically the other course are missing. Okay, even in community organizations. Okay, all are what I can say. Reading about the community part, but in DTA you are exposed specific to these two particular communities. Okay, and when you will see the nature of organization, people believe to hire. Okay, in those organizations, like especially in our organization, we go to, basically it depends on what I can say, management also, like uh, and what kind of what I can say feedback they are getting from the past experience students. Okay, so it's up to the legacy of those students. They are working there, how they are performing. So it's not your fault or anybody's fault. Okay, so that's the reason my humble request is that whenever you join the organization, do some thorough research, okay, before accepting the accept letter. Even after accepting the accept letter, okay, offer letter. Before joining the organization, you are free to do whatever you want to do. Okay, you want to join another organization, but once you join the organization, at least stay for some time. Okay, why I'm telling that, because you will learn a new thing. Okay, and maybe you can move to another organization, you will miss this opportunity. Okay, so you will learn the thing. Maybe if it is very worse and your, what I can say, your ideology and your thoughts are not matching completely, though both are two, what I can say, opposite the thing, you can leave the organization. It's your individual choice. Okay, but being a Christian, I'm telling you, okay, and even companies never approach like okay, we will go to recruit Dalit and tribal students or community organization. No, it's totally depend on your learning and how you will fit or how you will contribute something to the organization. They will look for that one only. Okay, and one point is that uh, like the management thing for their benefit, basically for their what I can say benefit. Okay, so you have to understand also those part also. So that's the reason I'm saying you have to also do some kind of what I can say, um, ground research, how the organization function, and what kind of candidate they are looking for. Okay, so like I'm telling you, if you are sitting on an organization and you know that this organization is working in Jharkhand. Okay, so at least you do some kind of research about the Jharkhand. You what I can say, you uh, uh, without knowing anything, you just cannot go and sit. Okay, and when somebody will ask like you want to join this organization, so maybe you know something about that. So if you will not say anything, then people will understand that you are just interested in getting the job, but maybe you will not impact anything to the organization. So you have to be very, what I can say, you have to be little bit informative about the organization.
True.
That's
Yes. 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 Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, I think.
you want to explain. This is very important. If you don't mind. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
One person has asked about the Tata Trust. Okay. How the people can get job in Tata Trust and how much they are paying the amount. Okay. So before job part, okay, I will give you, I will take 1 or 2 minutes, okay, in brief, so that you will get the idea. Okay. So when you will see the fundamental of Tata Steel, how the organization functions, so you will understand that. So there is like Tata Sun. Okay, there is one board which is called Tata Sun, and Tata Sun has number of companies like Tata Steel. Okay, Tata Motors, Tata Tea, Sonata, everything. Okay, they have taken the franchise, basically the brand of Tata. Okay, so what happened? The Tata Sons has a policy. Okay, they are giving the name basically. Okay, the brand of that one, and all the companies are independent. Okay, Tata Steel is functioning independent. TCS is functioning independent. Everybody is. So what happened here? They are giving some kind of royalties. Okay, of that profit amount. And suppose if if 100, it can be more than 100, okay, but if hundreds companies are giving royalty to the Tata son, basically the head of that organization, so they are getting a huge amount. And there is one policy, it's like around 60%, okay, amount of that Tata son, they basically, the Tata has created that philosophy, that philanthropy, basically they have to give the 60% of those funds to the community, okay. So for spending those 60% of funds, they have created one separate team, okay, separate department, which is called Tata Trust, okay, you got to know. And all the individual corporate house like Tata Steel, Tata Motors, okay, they have their own CSR team, okay. So that's the difference. So basically, when you are approaching me, maybe I can give you the information regarding the Tata Steel, but maybe I'm not, I cannot give you the information about the, what I can say, Tata Motors, and I cannot give specific information regarding the Tata Trust. But we are working in Tata's family, so we know the ecosystem. That's the reason I'm giving you the idea. Second thing which you ask about the salary part, okay, it's true, okay, but you have to also understand, like Tata Trust is working as a philanthropic organization, and and Tata Trust is working in a what I can say, in number of issues, okay, they are covering like health, water, sanitation, you can say that. But the interesting part is that they are not having all the students on their payroll, okay. Basically what they are doing, they are hiring as a contractual basis, okay. But still Tata Steel is paying you a good amount compared to the what I can say, other organization, okay. That's the reality. uh, I should not quote, but still I'm giving you the lump sum figure, like it's around 50 or 55,000, okay, they are paying if you are joining such kind of organization. But one thing is very clear, that if you will join the Tata Trust team, okay, you will get a handsome salary. To be honest, I'm saying, even if I get a chance to work with them, I will definitely go to Tata Trust. Everybody wishes to go, okay. Everybody wants to work with the, what I can say, in terms of monetary, in terms of what I can say, the cause, okay. Because in CSR, you have a limited domain, okay. You are just targeting your operational periphery. But in Tata Trust, you don't have a boundary, okay. You can go to any place, okay. You don't have a limitation, okay. So that's the point. I guess, I hope I have given you the clear message.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we understand. We understand that, and how the ecosystem of Tata. And so, I would like to thank Sudarshan sir for this session of CSR as a career, or career in CSR. And our purpose of Sunday Samvad, it would are basically three purposes. And I'm glad that in the sixth episode we have had the highest participation till now. So we have had registration, also the highest registration as well as the highest participation. So thank you, Sudarshan sir, again, and participants also. I was discussing with sir what is the purpose of Sunday Samvad. So our purpose, we have three main purposes. The first purpose is to help or support students, or to visualize a workspace that they want to work for, or they think that they can work. The second purpose is what skills are required to reach that workspace or to work in that workspace. And the last and the third purpose of Sunday Samvad is to build a network of alumni and TISS students, so that TISS students can progress their career according to a guided, and according to a professional, having a professional approach as well as a mentored guided approach.